Mortal Kombat 2021 proves that you can have brutal fatalities, solid fight choreography, and still completely miss the mark. What's up, y'all? Welcome on back. This is Surfing the Stream. My name is Matt. Today we're talking about Mortal Kombat 2021, a movie that had a ton of hype when it dropped, but after going back and rewatching it again, I've got to be honest, this one doesn't really hold up for me. There are definitely some things that this movie does right, but overall it just feels like a huge missed opportunity for me. So let's start with the best part of this entire movie, the opening prologue with Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Absolutely incredible. The best portion of the movie for me. Right away, the movie gives us real emotional stakes. You got Scorpion's entire clan being wiped out by Sub-Zero, and instantly you're invested. You feel that loss. You understand his motivation, and it pulls you in immediately. And the fight choreography here between these two, really, really great. It's easily the highlight of the film for me. Honestly, every time that Scorpion and Sub-Zero fight or they're on screen together, whether that's the beginning of the movie or the final fight, that's when this movie feels alive to me, which is why I find this movie so frustrating, because I really wish the movie leaned into like those two characters more. Scorpion should have been way more of a focal point in this movie. And who knows, maybe with Mortal Kombat 2, which is a week away, maybe that is going to be what we get in that movie, hopefully. But instead of focusing on Scorpion, who personally you feel really attached to at the beginning of this movie, it shifts focus over to Cole Young. And this is where things begin to fall apart for me. The movie clearly wants us to connect with him, and they try to do that indirectly, and it just doesn't work. Compared to someone like Scorpion, who we're instantly attached to, Cole just feels flat and really uninteresting to me. He is legitimately the worst character. Actually, you know what? I probably take that back. I don't know if he's the worst character, because all of these characters are pretty bad, but him specifically, I just could not be any less interested in what's going on with him. And that's a huge issue for me when basically he's the main character. And then another problem that we have here is the pacing. The movie somehow moves so fast, but also feels slow at times. It's a weird mix up of scenes, because it ends up feeling less like a cohesive story and more like I said, a collection of scenes just stitched together. You'll get a fight and then a quick character moment and another fight, but none of it really builds into something meaningful. A perfect example of this is the middle section where Liu Kang and Kung Lao are training everyone. That should be a huge moment for character development, but instead we get some pretty underwhelming fights, followed by emotional beats that just don't land because we don't care about these characters. The script is just very bare bones, and it leaves no room to explore these characters in a meaningful way. Now, to give the movie some credit, the action itself is pretty solid. I think back in 2021, when we originally watched this movie, I was like, damn, these are some awesome fights. Looking back on it and rewatching it, I would venture to say that it's fine. Like, there are definitely way better action movies out there in terms of like fighting movies. In fact, I would look more at the recent Indonesian kung fu movies, where those movies are so fast paced with their action and their fight choreography that those movies are legitimately exhausting for me to watch, because it's fight scene after fight scene after fight scene, but some of the best fight choreography, period, in a fighting style movie. So if you're interested in some of that, go check out the Indonesian kung fu movies, because those are pretty damn entertaining. But back to Mortal Kombat 2021, the fight choreography in certain moments is genuinely fun to watch. And the fatalities are actually one of the strongest parts of the movie. They're brutal, creative, and they do a pretty good job of keeping my attention. So even when the story isn't working for me, at least the movie has something visually engaging to fall back on. And while those fatalities can be pretty damn good, it's far and few between. This movie definitely feels like it misses more than it actually hits. And then there's Kano. He honestly might be the most entertaining character in the movie, and legitimately might be too much of him at times. I think he brings a lot of humor and levity, And for the most part, it works. His personality stands out in a movie where most of the characters feel pretty underwhelming and underdeveloped. But like I said, I think he's too much of a good thing in this movie. I think they rely way too much on him. And at times, he does become a little obnoxious and annoying, even with some of his really great scenes. But for this movie in particular, he is definitely the highlight as far as characters go. Now, one of my biggest complaints of the entire movie is something that it's one of those things where if you notice this in a movie, it's either really bad or really, really great. And for me, it was really, really bad this time, and that is the score. It's honestly kind of shocking how bad, how bland it is, because this is a Mortal Kombat movie. The music should be getting me hyped, getting me energized for these fights, and instead it's absolutely, completely forgettable. And I'm not joking when I say this. I would have been fine if they just spammed that classic Mortal Kombat theme song throughout the entire movie. Genuinely wouldn't have cared. It would have been way better than what we got in here. It would have been way more effective, and it would have felt like a damn Mortal Kombat game. The score here is just abysmal at best. And then there's the CGI, which for a movie that isn't really that old, I mean, we're looking at 5 years coming up, it hasn't aged very well. Now, it's not Mortal Kombat Annihilation levels of bad. It is definitely disappointing, though, considering this came out 5 years ago. Some of the effects do look a little rough and pulls me out of the experience. But again, it's nowhere near Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That might be one of the ugliest movies I have ever seen in my life. And I will watch it 1,000 times in my life because it is so fucking terrible that it's amazing. One thing I do appreciate, though, is the decision to focus on setting up the Mortal Kombat tournament instead of rushing straight into it. It's a really smart move, I think. And going back and watching this, I had to remind myself, I said to myself, wow, I kind of forgot they don't have the tournament in this movie. So Mortal Kombat 2, which comes out next week, is going to focus mainly on the tournament at hand. But this movie, it gives the franchise room to build something bigger. And it's a fresh approach compared to just jumping straight into multiple tournaments right away. I mean, that's going to get old after a while. So I do like the fact that they are kind of slowly building this. And who knows what happens in Mortal Kombat 2, that we get maybe a third Mortal Kombat movie. I'm not sure what the direction of this franchise would be past these two movies, but I'm definitely intrigued to find out. But overall, going back and rewatching this movie, it's just not that good. I'd honestly rather go back and watch the original Mortal Kombat that came out in the 90s. That movie knew exactly what it was, and it leaned into it. It had the characters that were actually strong enough to keep you invested in the story. This one, on the other hand, I have almost zero investment in the characters, and it's legitimately one of the things that kind of holds back my excitement for seeing Mortal Kombat 2. The dialogue here is rough, the story is basic, the pacing is messy, and the action, while good at times, isn't stitched together in a satisfying way. We have the sequel, Mortal Kombat 2, coming out next week. I'm really hoping for a huge improvement over this movie. It was delayed by 6-7 months, something like that. It was supposed to come out last year. So hopefully they let it cook a little longer, and this is going to be the best version of this movie, because the COVID era version of Mortal Kombat, the first one, it leaves a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth once you watch it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Mortal Kombat 2021. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below of what you thought about Mortal Kombat 2021. Did you like it? Did it miss the mark? Is it so bad that it's good? Drop a comment below, and while you're there, hit that like and subscribe button. That's really going to help us out, and we would greatly appreciate it if you did that. But guys, I will catch y'all next time on the next review. Laters.